Hey guys, so today I wanted to bring you guys a replay of the final round in Top Cut in the Remote Duel League hosted by Gabriel Vargas, where I was X1 in Swiss after 5 rounds. It was top cut to top 8, and I wanted to bring you this final matchup versus Infernoble Knights first, but I may bring you my top 4 match against Goki sometime later as well. The prizing for first place was an ultimate rare Solemn Judgment and Gabe's new custom playmat, so a lot to play for here. And I did do a deck profile on Bear's channel after this event, so I'll link that in the description. So as I said, we are going against Infernoble Knights in this final round, and my opponent here seemed to be a really cool guy, and I know he's going to be watching this replay, so good game, man. Anyways, let's get right into it. Alright, so I do win the die roll, and I was tempted to just go first because I knew he was playing Infernoble Knights, and that deck is just way too scary when it goes first. But I did decide to just pretend like I didn't know what he was playing and just still opted to go second. Anyways, he starts out his turn by special summoning out the red layer from hand, and then he equips red layer with Durandal. And he's going to use Durandal's effect and add the Renault from deck to hand. Next, he is going to banish that Durandal Engrave to special summon out the Immortal Phoenix Gearfried from his hand. And then he's going to special out the Renault from hand because he does control a Fire Warrior, and he's going to use its effect to try to add back that banished Durandal back to his hand. And right now at this point, I did have an effect failure in hand, and I was worried that if he gets the Durandal, then he can equip it to Gearfried and it would become a monster effect, negate, and destruction. So I felt that I wouldn't have any other opportunity to use Valor, so I do just decide to Valor on the Renault here. Next, he's going to link off the Renault and red layer and go into Isolde and add another red layer to hand. Then he's going to use Isolde's second effect, and as cost sends the Smoke Grenade and the Phoenix Blade to special out from deck, but I do Imperm here on the second effect. So our opponent is going to banish the Renault and red layer to add back the Phoenix Blade to hand. And then he's going to pitch back that Phoenix Blade to summon out the Oliver. Next, he's going to link off the Isolde, special out the Link Cross, and then use his Link Cross's effect and special summons out 2 tokens. Next, he's going to link off the Link Cross and the Oliver and brings out the Halki Fibrax. And with Halki Fibrax's effect, he's going to special out the Deskbot, then he's going to synchro off the Deskbot and the Link Cross token and go into Formula Synchron and use its effect to draw 1. Next, with Formula Synchron and the other Link Cross token, he's going to synchro into Martial Metal Marcher, and then Marcher will bring back the Formula Synchron, and then Oliver is going to equip to Gearfried. Next, with the Metal Marcher, Formula Synchron, and the Halki Fibrax, he's going to go into Auroradon, and it's going to summon out the 3 tokens. And then Deathspot Engrave is going to trigger and special itself out. And then with Auroradon, the 2 tokens and the Deathspot, he's going to go into Power Tool Dragon. And he's just going to reveal the 3 living fossils, so he'll just add 1 of them. And then with the with Auroradon, he's going to use that effect to pop the token and the Power Tool and special out the Colt Wing from deck. And then Colt Wing will summon out 2 more tokens. And of course, Deathspot Engrave will trigger once again and special itself out. Now with the Deathspot and the token, he's going to synchro into Herald. Then he's going to activate the Living Fossil, bring back the Formula Synchron. And with the Synchron and the token, he's going to go into Roland, activate its effect, and then with the Colt Wing and the Roland, he's going to go into Charles. Then he activates Triple Tactics Talent and he declares to see my hand and spin back 1, and I do just decide to concede here. I wasn't quite sure if he knew what I was playing, so I thought I'd just go straight into game 2. Okay, so on to game 2, and I do decide to go first here because Infernoble, if they go first, it's just way too strong, and I did want to just take the safer approach here by going first. So I'm going to start out by normal summoning the core and use its effect to search a Cyber Dragon spell or trap, and I'm going to add the Cybernetic Overflow. Next, I activate Machine Dupe targeting the core, so I do open very well, and we're just going to special summon out the 2 Cyber Dragons. Then I'm going to overlay and go into Cyber Dragon Nova, and then I'm going to link off into Mirage. I do this intentionally first so that we can get that Cyber Dragon Engrave, so we can use Nova's effect to bring it back and try to go into Anaconda after going into Infinity. But we do get Nibiru here because that was our 5th summon, So that's totally fine though, we can still play through this. So we're just gonna summon out that Nibiru token in the middle zone there. And then now that Nova was sent to the grave while in our possession by an opponent's card effect, we can bring out that Chimeric Rampage from the extra deck. So with Chimeric Rampage, we're going to send the Naxter and the Hertz, and then with Hertz effect, we're going to add the Naxter from grave to hand. Next, we're going to pitch Cyber Dragon and special out the Naxter, and then Naxter is going to target the Nova in grave and special that out, and then we're going to be able to go into Infinity Cell. And so we do suck up the Nibiru because it was in attack position, so I'm just going to use that white blank token as a material, and then I'm going to set 2 and pass turn. So our opponent is going to start off by activating Heritage, and he's going to add the Renault to hand. Next he's going to activate Journal and equip it to my Nibiru token, and he's going to add the Ogier from deck to hand. Next he's going to normal summon the Ogier and use its effect, and he's going to dump the Gearfried from deck to grave. Then he's going to special summon out the Renault from hand. And with Renault's effect, he's going to add back that Gearfried in his grave back to his hand. And then he's going to banish the Journal to try to special out the Gearfried, which I do allow. Next he's going to link off the Renault and the Ogier and go into Isolde, and he is not going to use her effect on summon. So at this point I do activate the Cybernetic Overflow, and I'm going to banish the Cyber Dragon and the Hertz and pop both his Isolde and his Phoenix Gearfried. Next he's going to activate Living Fossil, and he's going to bring back the Renault, and looks like he just passed his turn. So for turn, I mean here we already have game if we just attack with everything, especially with the Nibiru token. So I'm just going to use Chimeric Rampage effect, and I'm going to send the Hertz and the core, and with Hertz effect I'm going to add back the core from grave to hand. And just for good measure, I also have the Red Eyes Fusion that I just drew this turn, and my opponent just concedes here, and we do move on to game 3. Okay, so on to game 3, and our opponent does choose to go first. For our opening hand, we did draw 3 hand traps, which is great, but the other 2 cards were Cyber Dragon and Machine Dupe, so I don't really consider that a good hand. Anyways, he's gonna start out the turn by normal summoning the Connector and use its effect, and I do Ash here because once he gets the Dolphin out, he's just gonna be able to rip out the Ash. Next, he's going to special summon out the Fire Flint Lady, and then he's gonna link those 2 away and summon out Isolde, and he's gonna use Isolde's effect on summon and search the red layer. Next he's going to use his old second effect and dump the Phoenix Blade and the Smoke Grenade to try to special from deck, but I do have my Imperm here and negate that effect. So now he's going to activate Rhoda, and he's going to add the Oliver to hand. Next he's going to banish the Fire Flint and the Neospace Connector to add back the Phoenix Blade to hand, and then he's just going to pitch that off so he can special out the Oliver. Then he's going to link off the Isolde and go into Link Cross, use Link Cross effect. He's going to special out 2 tokens. And then with the Oliver and the Link Cross, he's going to special out the Halki Fibrex and use its effect. And I do have my third and last hand trap here with another Imperm and negate Halki Fibrex. So he's going to banish the Equip spell card in grave to special out the Phoenix Gearfried. And then he's going to, Oliver is going to equip to Gearfried. So now it's at 3000 attack and it cannot be targeted. And looks like he just passed his turn here. So off the top we draw Galaxy Soldier, so our hand right now is Galaxy Soldier, Cyber Dragon, and Machine Dupe, so a really bad hand at this point. And so our only line of play at this point is just summoning out the Cyber Dragon. So I do special out the Cyber Dragon, and on summon he's going to use Halki Fibrex's effect, banish itself, and special out the Formula Synchron. And then Formula Synchron effect, he's just going to synchro off with the other 2 tokens there and go into Herald. And then of course with Synchron's other effect, he does get to draw 1. So I'm just going to enter battle here and just attack over the Herald and just pass turn. So it looks like our opponent doesn't have much of a play either, and he just enters battle phase. And then he's actually not, he's going to use Gearfried's effect, so it's actually going to equip Cyber Dragon instead of destroying it. And so now it's at 3500 attack and still can't be targeted and passes turn. So I do rip off the emergency off the top, which is super clutch, so I do activate it. The thing is, because Gearfried's on the board right now, it's a monster effect, negate, and destruction. I didn't want to search the core because it would just get blown up, and because its effect to search on summon is mandatory, and then I wouldn't be able to use Machine Dupe. So instead, that's why I searched the Hertz. So I'm going to normal summon the Hertz, and then I'm going to activate my Machine Dupe. And so I get to special summon out the 2 Cyber Dragons. So now here's where things get crazy. I contact fuse away my Hertz and the Cyber Dragon that is equipped to his Gearfried in the spell and trap zone. Now I know that sounds super sketchy, but you can actually do this, and I mentioned this in my ruling video. And this is because Chimeric Fortress says it must be special summoned by sending the above cards, as in Cyber Dragon and one or more machine monsters, from either field to the graveyard. It doesn't actually have to be Cyber Dragon as a monster, but just a card with Cyber Dragon in its name. And this is an old interaction they came up with Relinquish and Thousand Eyes Restrict, for example. But keep in mind, if it was a baby Cyber Dragon or any other machine monster that was equipped, then it would not work. It's only because he had an original Cyber Dragon equipped. Now there was a long pause here just so the judges can look into this and confirm, because let's be honest, this is a really wild and weird ruling, but they do realize that I was correct and we are able to continue on. So because that Hertz was contact fused away and sent to the graveyard, I can use its effect to add a Cyber Dragon, and the only remaining card I can add is the Cyber Dragon Engraved, so I do add that. So here, the not being able to target Gearfried is really problematic for me because I sided out the Dragoon package, so I can't just pop it with Dragoon even if I can successfully bring it out. And I didn't want to go into Nova yet because I wanted to have another level 5 on board before I do that, so that I have enough bodies to go into Seeger. If I went into Nova first, then I would have to use Nova's effect to bring back out a Cyber Dragon, in which case he would likely negate and destroy with Gearfried, and bringing out Rampage in that situation wouldn't really do anything. And so that's why I try to use the Galaxy Soldier's effect here to summon himself by pitching the Cyber Dragon. And he does negate that with Gearfried by sending the Oliver. So now we're just gonna overlay the two Cyber Dragons and go into Nova, but he does have the Nibiru here and tribute it all off. So he's gonna special the Nibiru in defense mode and also summon out my Nibiru token in defense as well in the middle zone here. Now with Nova's effect, we're just gonna bring out that Rampage once again, and we already used Hertz effect earlier this turn, so we can't add back anything to hand with using Rampage effect through Hertz. So instead, I mean, we're still gonna send two, so we're gonna send the Galaxy Soldier and the Core. We're sending that second Galaxy Soldier because we never got to resolve the first one, so that second one's kind of dead and we just want to get it out of the deck. So we're just going to enter battle phase. We're going to attack over Nibiru there and then attack 2 more times for 42, so he is now at 3,800 life points. And that's all I can do, so I just pass turn. So our opponent is going to special summon out the red layer, and looks like he just passes turn. So now I'm in a really good spot because with Rampage I can get access to Core by sending the Hertz and the Core, but I actually drew the Core off the top there, so everything is going my way right now. Now I could technically have game by just attacking with the token because the token's at 5100 attack and then attack with Rampage, but I mean, you never know if that Battle Fader or Karibo is going to drop down in 2020, so I did want to take the route where I still set up one negate before entering battle phase. So we're going to use Rampage effect first, we're going to send the Hertz, and we're going to send the Naxter. And then with Hertz effect, we're just going to add back the Core that's in Grave. And then we're going to summon out the Core and use its effect to search. And we're going to get the Ref System. And then with Ref System, we're going to bring out the Naxter. And then Naxter's effect, that's going to bring back the Nova. And then we go into Infinity, that's our 4th summon. And then we're going to use Infinity's effect to suck up that red layer. And we're just going to enter battle phase, and that's game. So we do take it there. Alright guys, so that's it for the replay. Pretty crazy match, and I was pretty lucky to pull out the win in that one. Big props to my opponent, of course. I don't know his actual name other than his Discord name, so Reaper, it was a pleasure playing against you. That's it for me guys, and this weekend is going to be the LCS where I'll be developing some analytical content for them, so stay tuned on their Facebook page and the YouTube channel. Take care guys.